Welcome, friends, to Now Hiring, the podcast about the talent and recruiting industry brought to you by the good people at Ceipal. I'm your host, Andy Weiss, Chief Marketing Officer at Ceipal, and this is a special edition of our Now Hiring podcast. In fact, we are today streaming live to both LinkedIn and Ceipal's YouTube channel. And for those in the live audience today, you'll be able to interact with us and by using the chat feature of both platforms to ask questions and contribute to the conversation. Today, we're looking beyond the trends to hear the real stories that are going to be shaping recruitment here in 2025. And I'm joined by some very special guests who bring some firsthand insights into what's happening on the ground around the globe, how they're responding in their organizations, and what they're doing to plan for the future. Um, and so, with that, would like to introduce our distinguished guests today, Manjula Arkeli, Manjula Arkari, Vice President at Task Outsourcing, um, and then Sanchi Bhatia, Director COO from Vital Hunt Global Solutions. And then shortly, we will be joined by Roger Lopez, the CEO and co-founder of National Search. Here's Roger, the National Search Group. So welcome all. Sanchi, if you could take a couple minutes and share with all of us a little bit about yourself and your experience in the staffing industry and what your firm uh, does and is up to. Okay, we're going to go to Manjula.
Okay.
Manjula.
Yeah. Uh, Good evening and good morning, some of the places, because the people are coming from the different countries to visit us. So it's for, for, for all of them, good morning or good evening. I'm Manjula Arikeri. I head the head of recruitment and the vice president for the Indian operations for task outsourcing, um, bringing 2 decades of expertise in large scale hiring, talent acquisition, workforce transformation, and strategic hiring for the global markets, especially for Middle East and India. I have led high volume hiring, executive search, and contract initiatives, partnering with the business, building the agile and future ready teams. My focus always been on aligning the recruitment strategies with the business uh, goals, and also the leveraging the technology and optimizing and driving the digital transformation in talent acquisition. Uh, as we discussed today on the hiring of 2025, focus of hiring 2025, I look forward to share my insights for and how can we harness the technology for hiring top talent and efficiently in the AI, where which is growing rapidly. Um, Thanks, Andy, for giving the opportunity to share my insights, especially from the Middle East part of hiring strategies.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Manjula. Roger, do you want to share your
Sure.
background?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Roger Lopez. I'm the CEO of National Search Group. We help manufacturing companies, particularly in the wood, metal, and plastics industry, find top talent through three specialized divisions. I've been in the staffing industry for over 30 years. We've built a great team of over 50 professionals working with clients across all the United States and Canada from our headquarters here in Miami. So I'm really excited about being here today. Recruiting is always, changing, and I love exploring new strategies and staying ahead. So looking forward to a great conversation.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you both. And as soon as it looks like Sanchi's having some technical difficulties, so as soon as she's able to rejoin us, we'll pull her back into the conversation. So, uh, as we're as we think about 2025, I'd be remiss if we didn't start with kind of where you all exited 2024. And it was a year of a lot of change, a lot of different types of challenges, but to help us kind of better understand where your organizations finished the year and kind of how you maybe navigated 2024. Uh, Roger, if we'd start with you, kind of give us your thoughts and takeaways on the prior year.
Well, the biggest like recruitment challenges for 2024, like one of them, the toughest. It was pretty what one of the toughest years for us. Many of our many companies were putting hiring on hold because of a lot of uncertainty, around like elections, interest rates, concerns about inflation, or just slow decision making. Causing them to lose on a great amount of candidates to faster moving competitors, right? So this created a lot of delays in hiring. And on top of that, we saw a pattern where some clients seemed ready to hire, but they went silent when we send them top candidates. And in many cases, they were just exploring options rather than making making real hiring commitments. So it was a challenging time, but it gave us valuable insights on how businesses react in uncertain markets. And to tackle these type of challenges, we adopted a proactive approach. We doubled our efforts in marketing top candidates, that in ensuring that our clients were aware that the exceptional talent was available in the market and how they could contribute to their business's success. But also, we created a sense of competition and kind of like an urgency amongst our clients, driving like the HR teams, the C-level executives to act much quicker. So by highlighting candidate scarcity, we increased their interest and motivated them to secure top talent, before their competitors did, right?
So,
You know, we Yeah.
so how did you cut this idea of kind of hiding or creating some scarcity? How did you guys come up with that kind of idea or
Well,
approach?
when we send out a good amount, a list of if we have a really what is it, an MVP, like a most placeable candidate, right? We send them out. We just don't send them out to one client. We could send them to maybe a thousand. So we create the competition. These candidates, they move real quick. The ones that are interested in the roles, they interview real fast. They get hired immediately. And then, but we do have a huge amount of those clients that receive that same candidate, say, hey, we're interested in this candidate, but when they get that reply back saying that the candidate is no longer available because he got hired by one of their competitors, it creates that kind of like urgency where they need to respond much faster. We're trying to educate our clients to respond fast. If we're in a market where candidates have way more opportunities, so, and I think a lot of our clients have been just used to just sitting back and waiting, or prolonging the interview process, and that has just damaged them in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Manjula, what was 2024 like for on your end?
Yeah, for us, it was a very dynamic year of recruitment. Uh, Especially in the Middle East, the biggest challenge was we faced the intense competition within the skilled professionals, IT, and particularly in technology, engineering roles, and highly skilled professionals. Being digital transformation, AI adoption, and mega projects are booming, we definitely saw the scarcity of the skilled talent in the Middle East. Okay, the major challenge is also as a country that we have to balance the localization, which is called Emiratization and Saudiization, while ensuring the best talent we have to place at the right time. We also saw a shift in the candidate expectation and their behavior. They are demanding more flexibility in working, then their career growths, and digital hiring experience is something that we saw a shift in the people hiring. Yeah, it was very dynamic and very fast paced hiring that I see in the Middle East past 1 year, Andy. A
Wonderful.
little bit
So
different.
extremely challenging for both of you then. So was there, for either of you, was there a specific moment or initiative that kind of made you rethink that approach? Roger, it sounded like from that speed standpoint, there was something that clicked
Oh
on
yeah.
your end, but curious for both of you, was there one kind of pivotal moment or kind of aha?
I mean, well, for us, it was, yeah, 2024 was we reached a pivotal realization that to attract top talent, both our clients and internally, for us, we had to evolve beyond the traditional recruitment methods, right? The outdated approach, of simply just like posting jobs or relying on conventional headhunting was just no longer enough for us, right? In order to stay competitive, we had to embrace, innovative, proactive strategies to connect with the right candidates. So we recognized that we need to be far more active on social media. We had to be leveraging platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok to engage, both the passive and the active candidates. And at the same time, we had to be committed to staying ahead of the curve with AI technology, out there. A lot of them, offered us tools with more precise talent matching, and streamlined our whole entire process, giving us, and our clients good competitive edge.
I
Well,
second
go go
Roger
ahead.
thought on this, that okay, yeah, traditional methods is no longer give the kind of experience the candidates and the hiring managers are looking. Okay, so the social media is playing very big uh, uh, part of hiring now, right now, in most of hiring spaces. Those TikTok videos and YouTube job descriptions and LinkedIn explanation, the job description in LinkedIn, those are now trending to attract more and more candidates. And the traditional method like posting the like web portals, like any of the job posting is screening the candidates through job portals. Those are not at all helping the recruiters, not the hiring managers. Yeah, I second Roger on that. Yeah.
Awesome. So uh, Sanchi, welcome back. As you would expect from, we were talking about 2024 while you were going through some technical difficulties and some challenges there. So it would be fitting to, using that as a jumping off point, to ask you to share with our audience a little bit about yourself, and then also kind of jump into what 2024 was like on
Mhm.
your end for your organization.
Yeah, for my organization particularly, 2024 was all about adapting new technologies as we dive into the new ATS which we have adopted last year. So we were all in that stage to learn and grow with that particular ATS, to understand the ATS. As you all know, that day by day the advancement of technology is leading us towards a new experiences, right? So we can daily find out anything new which comes up to us, and we can find a solution in the AI and the ATS. So everything where we were facing the problems, or maybe we were facing any gaps where we were lacking the clarity in terms of data and everything. So 2024 for us was all about learning those steps, how we can make those things simple and make those data more useful for our organization. And this is the base for our next few years of journey that we are planning, to understand the data and to make our organization much better in terms of understanding, analyzing, and then implementing the solutions accordingly. So for 2025, we all are planning to, obviously, as Manjula was saying, that the social media, the new terms of recruitment, which are now the industry is adapting. So we are also in making the employer's brand strong so that the social media presence can help us hire for them. So obviously, our 2025 plans are in terms of that only.
Okay. So as great segue. So as we're thinking about 2025, a lot of headlines around either talent shortages or candidate expectations changing, and then technology kind of playing a bigger role, more of a bigger role than ever. What and you kind of touched on this a little bit, but what's kind of, or are there any driving kind of trends or ideas that you said, hey, here's what's going on in the marketplace. We need to make sure as we think about 2025, we address this trend or this challenge in our own planning.
Yes, obviously that from my point of view, personalized experience for the candidates matters a lot because while we are hiring and we are making them feel that they are the right fit for that particular organization, we'll be looking forward for their like career. They will be planning their career on the basis of that one yes they will be going to say to one of the organization. So personalized experience matters a lot in our in our industry particularly, and obviously the new ways of like chatbots are getting introduced in each and every platform where every person can have a personalized answers to their particular problems, or maybe the transparency increases with the help of that personalized experience. So in my terms, that personalized, or I can say hyper personalized uh, experience for the candidates will be more of the thing in coming years.
Manjula or Roger, any similar type
Yeah,
ideas or
Yeah, yeah,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go
Manjul.
on. Yeah, go ahead, Raj.
You
So,
want
in our industry, particularly, there are too many AI tools. Okay, now the competing, like, okay, everything is just another tool. Okay, in that market, which is right for the recruiter, what helps your industry is something that one should look into. Otherwise, just because of digitization and AI, you pick up anything will not help for the people, or the recruitment, or not even hiring managers in this per se. What I feel that, okay, so what is the recruitment is it's not a process anymore. It is a experience for the candidate and also the hiring manager. So that's how the landscape changed of recruitment. Right, it was a workflow before that. Okay, hiring a candidate is the only, if you see the KPI for the recruitment department is time to fill, quality hire, and other things. Now people talking about the candidate experience, candidate NPS score, or the client NPS score. So the shift from process to experience is something we are looking for 2025 and going forward, because now this become a candidate led market. It's no more employer led
Hmm.
recruitment. So I see 2025 is a great change for the experience per se, what I feel.
That's exciting because this is ultimately, we're all dealing in people, and talent is people, and to be able to get back to the people side of the business,
Yes.
that's super exciting. It's like, why
Yeah, but
not?
but but it took for years to bring to this level. Otherwise, it was always a process, right?
Yeah, Roger, from your perspective, and sitting in Miami, what are you finding
uh,
these personal experiences possible?
yeah, I mean, we have I have other as well. For us in the states, things have changed drastically, right? So like for us, the hiring trends for 2025 is like the growing demand for hybrid and remote jobs, right? Especially in the engineering, sales, administrative, and project management. So companies want their employees to go back to the office, right? But many workers are preferring flexibility, so
The-
businesses are needing to adapt. We're doing our best to help our clients create remote and hybrid roles, work options, to attract top talent, but while keeping operations running smoothly. But at the same time, we're getting in the U.S. We're getting major government investments in big infrastructure projects. Particularly since we deal in the wood, metal, and plastics industry. They're creating a huge demand for workers, especially in skilled trades and project management, engineering, and so forth. So, like to stay ahead, we're expanding, our candidate pool and focusing on industries that will benefit the most of these type of investments.
Mhm.
To stay competitive, we're improving our hiring strategies. Researching a lot of AI tools to find and connect with those type of remote ready candidates.
So with that, using that technology thread, so you've each kind of mentioned a little bit, but are there specific things that is you're looking at in terms of um, software or AI tools? So, Manjula, you mentioned evolving the workflow on your end. Is there, for any of you, is there anything specifically that, hey, we're looking to kind of bring this type of technology on board to enhance one of our processes or replace the process so we can focus on people?
Yes, I can take that question, Andy. So, as a company, we have done many of the larger campaigns for many of the retail, technology, and other side of the hiring. Okay, so these campaigns means a lot of people coming in a day. That the campaigns are very large, like you will meet 100 people to 200 people in a day to complete the process to hire maybe 50 to 100 people in one day. Okay, this uh, this experience is when you see 100 or 200 people on the floor. It's lot of paper going around, right? So the CV coming from the registration to the recruiter, from there to the hiring managers. So we felt, okay, there is a bit of digitization required here, right? Because one is that we should give a experience both the hiring managers and the candidates. Okay, we built the complete process. It's on our in-house project called Recruitify. What we did, this whole thing, we bring it to the digitization. So there is no paper now. Okay, candidates come seamlessly. Okay, with the QR code, they register, they get their number sequence, they allot to the rooms. The hiring managers see that profile within the system. There will be assessment sheets attached to the each position differently, and they rate the candidates. From there the selection moves. At the end of the day, they can see, okay, with each position how many people came, what how many interviews happened. So it is seamlessly, and those are some touch points for the candidates, because they come, whether they're shortlisted, they're rejected, whether I'm on hold. So everything, the communication is part of the digitization. So it gives a seamless, transparent, paperless digitization platform for the hiring managers and the candidate. It gives a recruiter immense free time, so that he need not to manage the large volume of the CVs anymore.
That's right.
So, okay, this one thing that we felt it is required for the business, where you have a lot of campaigns and recruitment drives. Campus hiring happens outside your offices, which is not one to you large number of people. So that's where we shifted. We want to give an experience for both the candidates and the hiring managers. So we built as a what I can say, this 22 years of experience, we've developed this product. It is in-house product. We understand what is the chaos handling this recruitment drives outside the office. That is one of a great experience now, which is maybe we will soon come to the market to marketize that product. But currently we are using for in-house. It is a great help for both the recruiters and the hiring managers. using that.
One that's super exciting, and it starts to explain kind of especially with the free time or the additional time or bandwidth that you're freeing up for the team, kind of being able to focus on the relationship side. Um, Sanchi, any kind of technology or kind of process enhancements going on your end?
Not a particular new one, but yeah, obviously ATS is being, I already said that ATS being, we have recently adopted ATS last year. So ATS itself is a quite, I can say, a very large thing for us, because day by day we are facing certain issues, and accordingly we are preparing something in it only. And it is giving us the solution like we have never had in our organization. And obviously things are quite getting resolved through this. Productivity is getting enhanced because of the less tracking work which we have to do earlier on the one-to-one basis. So productivity enhancement which we are working on currently, and which is truly helpful through the ATS, and we are able to develop different departments to track different activities. Earlier, it was the end-to-end recruitment process which a recruiter was doing, and now it is only the recruiters doing the recruitment. Actually, recruitment they are able to do, and the other departments like CAM, BD, and every other department who takes care of the other process which is being taken place after the recruitment and actual sourcing and interviewing part is done by the recruiter. So after this particular technology which we have introduced, we are able to track each and everything through different set of departments, which has enhanced the productivity in our organization. And the businesses has business monthly business, I can say, has given a quite hike in percentage terms as well, in monetary terms as well. And we are able to now attract more of the talent who we can easily train through these type of ATS, and we can adapt new technology easily as we are now capable enough, and we are ready with the technology driven team, where our team is also excited with all these changes and the learning perspectives which they are getting, and they are now able to do the data analyst, which was a very big question earlier for the recruiters to do at this type, this level.
So it strikes me that we've touched on a little bit kind of the changes in the market in terms of the talent, but each of you has shared in your own way like the evolution of the skill set and the roles within your own team. So how are you managing this balance between technology and people, and then kind of upskilling or training your people and not and being able to benefit from the reward of more personalization and more kind of relationship building?
Uh, for us, one is that yeah, the biggest question is AI replacing the recruiters, right? That's where the people have question all the time. This technology is a replacement, or what I could say, it is definitely not a replacement at all. It is an enhancement of your workflow. Okay, the mundane jobs of recruiter, like screening thousands of the CVs, shortlisting, then talking to them, and interview schedules. Those are something is taken over the AI and automations, where the real recruiter will spend a quality time with the top candidates, so that the engagement, the relation with those will help for a quick hiring and retention of the candidates for the company. So it's always been propaganda of that, okay, that whether the AI replace the recruitment or recruitment process or the recruiter. I don't think it is any replacement. It is just an enhancement for the recruiters. They can do the quality work rather than doing the
Mhm.
mundane jobs.
So, Manjula, kind of building on that a little bit, a question that came in from our audience is wanting to peel back the layer on some of the tools and technologies that you all have been testing or trying or playing around with. So, Manjula, I think you mentioned you've developed something in house. For everyone else, kind of are there things that you're excited about, or specific tools that, hey, we've tested this, or we want to take a look at that, and kind of get a little bit more
Uh,
granular
yeah,
for people?
yeah. I have definitely seen some of the tools. I can recommend if somebody was not using, they have a lot of database within the Outlook, because Outlook search engine doesn't work for the candidate matching and other things. Maybe somebody can look into Tobu.ai, which will actually connect all your outlooks within the systems, of all the office systems, and with that it creates the database. From there the matching of the CVs happens, right? It is a powerful, it is very low cost. Somebody can easily try with the small recruitment agencies or anything, because there is a lots of CVs in the Outlook where they don't have the proper ATS to scrutinize and other things. They can use Tobu.ai. Even though they have a ATS, the connection between the ATS with the Outlook is difficult to manage. So some of this AI tool definitely will help. One is job matching, scoring the database is also possible with Tobu.ai if you have a lots of CVs within the system. Maybe if anybody is looking specific area of AI tool, maybe I can suggest some of those. This is for the job matching and auto searching engine that we can call as.
Cool. Um, Roger or Sanchi, anything else to add to that mix?
Well, we're investing a lot into AI tools. I mean, we're looking at automated sourcing tools to help us find and connect the right talent for specialized roles. We're very actively right now also looking into AI interviewing software. Uh, for better communication tools, so our recruiters can reach candidates way faster. And so we're not missing any opportunities. And training is just as important. As the hiring industry changes, our team needs to keep up. So we're prioritizing ongoing learning, both in technology and industry, trends and so forth.
I totally agree with Roger. Like we are also now implementing more of the AI technology in the organization. We are looking forward to more of the chances of getting certain similar products in callings and video interviewing these days, because we are upgrading our recruiters by giving them trainings, particularly every week, to get adapt to these type of technology, where they are also now exploring and getting new things on our table. And the things they are facing while in the market, while they are interviewing the candidates, the time gap, the skill gap, and I can say they are also facing that the skill based hiring is now increasing day by day. So they are also looking something in the AI where they can have certain stages of like particular tests for them. They are developing tests for the candidates who are like aptitude tests, on which on the basis of that they can have a video interview with them. Basic screening is done through that skill based test, and accordingly they can onboard certain type of candidates. So obviously these particular things are now in demand, and we are exploring those things.
Awesome. So you touched on kind of competing with, or um, trying to source these highly skill based talent and roles. So what are you all doing to compete for those best candidates in your industry? And I know, the three of you compete in different geographies and different verticals. So no trade secrets probably going on between the three of you. But if you can lift the hood a little bit in terms of what you're doing to make sure that you're bringing the best candidates to your clients and your customers.
Just try to be
First of
faster than
all,
everybody else.
Speed, okay.
Yes.
Speed.
For us, it's speed. You know how it is in the States. Clients, when they sign a contract, they want it now. They don't want to wait. They have that Amazon, shipment mentality where they want it fast, right? So it's very difficult, and trying to get. They don't understand the whole process that's involved in sourcing, interviewing, just trying to get somebody on the phone. It's a difficult, mission. So
Mhm.
That's what we struggle with
Yeah.
every single day. Is just trying to find ways to make it much faster and easier for our recruiting teams. And I think that that's where AI interviewing software and automated sourcing and improving the ATS, that's going to take us to the next level.
And first of all, uh, convincing the candidate to hire on the skill basis is a big question, or I can say a big task for our type of companies, where we cannot convince the client to have a candidate on their skill basis. They want a traditional candidate on the basis of degrees, on the basis of their certifications, experience. So
See, for
this
us,
is
it's
the
quite different.
particular question. Yeah, the question is that how we have convinced a client when they are asking us to find a candidate, and we are convincing them to hire through a skill based particular program, then they are not getting ready. So
Mm.
this is a particular problem for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for us in manufacturing is quite different. I mean, I started 30 years ago, and back then it was like, oh, you needed to have all these specialized degrees in the industry, right? Now,
Mhm.
skills-based hiring has been like a transformative shift for the industry that we work with, particularly in manufacturing. Where hands-on expertise often outweighs the formal credentials. So, with the ongoing talent shortage which we're facing in the U.S. right now, many of our clients have had to move away from those rigid degree requirements and embrace skill-based hiring. This
Mhm.
shift has opened up a broader and way more diverse talent pool, allowing us, to identify a bunch of candidates with practical know-how and experience to excel in these specialized roles. So it's
So
been real
a,
good for us.
a different kind of angle on that, because we talked about AI and using AI to kind of help us filter through candidates. But then Roger, you're also talking about the talent shortage and stuff. So one of the questions that came from the audience was, by ruling out so many candidates with AI, are we missing out on some that if we spoke to them, they could actually be great candidates?
Well, that's why we do a two-step. We start out with, I mean, we haven't started out the AI interviewer yet. That's something that I think we're going to start this week or maybe next week. But we're thinking about starting, the first initial interview should be with the AI. This way we'll be able to send out a mass amount, um, to many candidates, and whoever responds back, we could get a recruiter to call them back and get a little bit more details, and have them get that feeling that yes, they are talking to a human and somebody who cares about their careers and what where they who they want to apply with, and um, since we're niche based, we have to be a little bit more focused
Mhm.
and have that capability of connecting with them.
Thoughts from anyone else on how to make sure that we don't use AI to, inadvertently filter out that diamond in the rough?
Yeah. So the thing is that how you train your AI, right? It is the screening questions of the job, okay, and how the candidates replies to those is important aspect in the whole system, right? It can happen same thing to the recruiter. The recruiter would have also left some of the good people because the presence of mind of the candidate at that point, how he responded to the recruiter is matters to shortlist or a reject. Similar way to AI also, you may miss out, but the thing is that candidate should accept the AI assist as a first screener. Okay, if they want to play that, okay, this is the AI, there is no human here, I don't want to give great response to this, they will lose out of the opportunities. Okay, so the candidate acceptance on the AI and being part of that journey is very important. And when this journey begins with the screening questions, asking repetitive questions, these all is the part of the journey. So candidate also should be accepted and react as a person he is reacting to the AI assist in that case.
Okay, great. So, oh, sorry. Start again. Such.
No issue. So
Go
I
ahead.
was
You.
just saying that India is not ready actually with this particular technology. So, but in replacement of AI interviewing, we can replace this particular screening with a test, aptitude test, where they can fill out the few basic questions in terms of yes or no, or maybe one or two answers. So this can easily help us, and which we are currently adapting to, that a test before an interview gives us a much high chances of getting to understand those candidates, and the candidate to understand the organization or the questions they might get while getting interviewed on the call. So this is particular, the India is ready for this type of technology, but adapting to AI interviews and video interviews with the chatbot, I don't think so ki, India is particularly ready for at this particular year, for
I
this
don't think
particular year.
I don't think not only India, any country is not ready yet for this
Yeah,
change.
Yeah, I think it's
Somebody's got
going
to
to
exactly.
be,
start.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
somebody's got to
still,
start, but I think there's going to be a lot of evolution as we're all trying
Yes.
these different tools, and some things we're going to find are going to work. And yes, there are
Yeah.
inevitably, um, with any process, some candidates that are going to miss out.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it's just the nature of what we do and the business.
true.
Um,
I
so,
think
but
where
AI
And
we're
is
with
all
talent
go ahead.
shortage, and
Yeah,
with talent shortage, losing certain candidates we cannot afford.
but AI is also helping candidates in theory get better as well.
Well,
So
yes.
yeah.
it's this kind of rat race of how do you use technology to help you all do what you do best and find the right candidate for the right role, but then it's also helping candidates improve their marketability. So
Right.
it's this balance, if you will.
Yeah, a lot of our candidates complain, that, oh, I don't have time, I'm working, I can't interview, so we're going to use this as like, hey, we have this 24, 7 day a week option where you could do your interview, um, through a interviewing AI, so, a system, and avoid it speaking us to us, up at up front. I mean, eventually we will speak to them, but
Mhm.
it would just give us the opportunity to just see a lot more completed candidates, than a traditional recruiter could do. Right now, our recruiters can maybe complete maybe 40 candidates a month. I mean, we deal with supervisory all the way to executive level roles, so we have
Okay.
to be a little bit more focused there, right? Where in AI, bring in hundreds in a month.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
so it's going to help out.
So if we collectively take a step back and kind of look at now 2025 as a whole, how are you each feeling about the year in recruitment? Optimistic, cautious, somewhere in between? Kind of what's the crystal ball temperature read across this group?
I am particularly optimistic and curious both. I am somewhere in between, obviously, because the technology is getting advanced day by day, and the adaptability which we have built last year is helping us. So I am curious about the technology in recruitment, but also the optimistic part I can say is the skill-based hiring, which is increasing, is the basic need of the industries which we are tapping these days, and the skill based hiring is helping us to evolve the market, and the evolvement is making us to, like, our existence is making more efforts and making more, I can say, the challenges which the organization face while skill based hiring is making our existence more reliable for them. So obviously, the recruitment agencies or maybe HR consulting companies may have wider chances of getting on board in the organization, as the shortage of talent is making them move to the skill-based hiring.
I'm
So,
extremely optimistic. And that's
Okay.
just how I approach everything in life. There's always a way up, and that's exactly where we're headed, no matter what. The recruitment landscape may be growing, more competitive, but I see it as an opportunity rather than a challenge for our organization. Staying ahead of the curve, leveraging tools like AI focusing on innovation, we're positioned to thrive. This optimism drives how we approach our work, our partnerships. Um, there's much more potential to create meaningful impacts for both the client and the candidates. And with the right mindset and strategies, I believe the future is real bright for the recruiting industry.
Yeah, I too, yeah, optimist but realistic in a way that how we started 2025. It is already been a month. I see how the landscape of recruitment is changing, as Sanji very well said on the skill based hiring and the candidate experience evolving, what they are needed to be hired for. Okay, uh, they are not just the Gen Z professionals, not just looking for the salaries anymore, right? They need flexibility in working, career growth, and purpose for the work. So these are some elements are taking top of the priority for the Gen Z professionals. So definitely a lot more learning, this new AI tools coming into the picture, automation of many of the workflows. It ease the recruiters and also bring a lot of challenges how to run the business while you're learning. So that's
Hmm.
what I feel 2025 being learning, put it in practice and execute, and same time continue the business. Hiring is part of that. So I
Yeah.
see all
So
of that running in same platform at the same year. Looks like that's going to happen for 2025 for us, especially in the Middle East.
wonderful. So Manjula, I think you teed up perfectly some questions that we got from the audience, just in terms of um, first, every all of you seem very optimistic to different degrees about 2025. So, kind of bringing that down a couple levels in terms of metrics and KPIs that you think we should be focusing on to measure recruitment success this year. Is there, any one or two kind of KPIs or metrics that you each hone in on?
See, the always recruitment KPIs, it's never going to change whether we use AI or automation. The time to fill is one KPI, and the quality of the hire is another KPI that the recruitment departments or the staffing industry look for. These are the main two KPIs. What makes better this year, you are adding the other two KPIs, which is your candidate NPS score and the client NPS score, that the experience of those elements maybe bring our KPIs in a better measuring score. Okay, so I think these traditionally all the recruitment agencies or the corporate, the key KPIs for the recruitment is the time to fill and quality of the hire, and plus experience is adding for 2025 for us especially.
Yeah, same
Totally
thing.
agreed.
Yeah, we're
Same.
we're laser focused on key numbers to drive the recruitment success. And one of the biggest things that we track is how many interviews our recruiters complete each week. Keeping our pipelines active means that we can move candidates through the hiring process much more quicker and efficiently. So, we're also ensuring making sure that management stays involved as well. Our leadership team checks in regularly with candidates to make sure they feel informed, and valued. With the whole ghosting situation going on out there, so this not only creates a better experience for our candidates, but it also leads to a lot more successful placements and referrals. Right, so we keep it every day is over. We keep a close eye on daily call volumes. We listen to recordings. We give our recruiters feedbacks. This helps them, fine tune, our outreach strategies to improve communications. We hold divisional meetings every week, where we get to share, our key
Mhm.
metrics, our challenges, our wins. Keeps everybody in the same page, It encourages the team to share ideas to help us improve, right? Um, we've since last, I think about a year and a half ago or so, we implemented the EOS model, which has been a huge game changer for us. It keeps us all focused, accountable, aligned on the goals. So by using these strategies, we're making sure our hiring process is not just fast, but is highly effective.
Awesome. So, a question from the audience. So, in the beginning of the conversation, we touched on or talked a little bit about turning recruitment from process to experience. But then, as we drifted into a conversation around AI, uh, the question comes up: if we introduce an AI interviewer or shortlister, Roger, as you were talking about, the question is, doesn't that seem to contradict that transformation of going from process to experience? So, kind of
Well, they're
thoughts or
still going to get the
reactions to that.
same. They're still going to get the same experience. It's just they're giving them an additional option. So if they're not available for the phone call, we don't want them to lose out on the opportunity, right? Our
Okay,
clients, like
so
I mentioned before, they want fast. They want to see these resumes today, yesterday, not in a week. So if we're calling them and calling them, oh, I can't now, I can't now, can't we do it next week? They're going to lose out on the opportunity because we'll have
well, and it
100, 200 people.
yeah, and it strikes me that you're using you're potentially using this AI screener in a slightly different and more focused application in that your staff, your team has certain number of hours that they work and that you're placing these calls, but that may or may not overlap with your candidates. And so by implementing this technology, you're expanding that work window for these candidates that may be able to later that day when they're not as busy, they have greater availability
Yeah.
now, they can get back into the pool. So I think that's a really cool kind of slightly narrow application of it, but I think it actually benefits both parties in
Yes.
that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's just like job invites. If we all are aware of job invites, mass mailing, which we used to do through Naukri or maybe other job portals. So it is
Mhm.
just like that, that whenever they are available, they can see the opportunity they are having their inbox and they can give a particular interview for them, and then that thing can take them to the next level. Whenever the recruiter is available, they can screen them and then can take them to the next level. So they are also not missing that opportunity, and the recruiters are also not making any more efforts to like give a call to a candidate 10 times a day to get in touch with them, right? So it works both way.
Yeah. So if you could each give one piece of advice to the hiring leaders in this live session as they're thinking about or finalizing or implementing their plans for 2025, what would that one piece of advice or guidance be to these folks?
Adapt skill-based hiring, first of all, because that can change and give wonders to their results and their business. And I am the live example, which we, because we have started skill-based hiring from last 6 months, and it has given us more than the results which we were expecting from them. So this is the major need of the market, and I think the recruiters, the companies, and the HRs of the organizations should start adapting skill based hiring.
I would
So,
say embrace technology, without losing the sight of the human element, right? Stop thinking that you know it all and that the old ways will always work. Like this mindset holds back growth. You have to embrace new and innovative ways of attracting talent and landing the right client. So AI isn't just something to fear; it's a tool that's going to enhance the our recruitment strategies, and but not replace them. Avoid letting if you're in the US, or the political rhetoric or external noise dictate your business decision or limit the ability to adapt and grow. Uh, Never stop learning. That's how it is.
Yes, what my advice would be, okay, first accept the technology. Okay, now there is a lot of fear accepting the technology for the hiring managers itself. Some people still have their traditional way of doing things, okay, because these hiring managers and the leadership is millennials, right? So they are still in the traditional way of doing things. First is embrace the technology and harness the technology in what workflow you want to introduce to help in your workflow of recruitment. Okay, and be quick for that. Okay, because we already late in a way to understand. It is already taken a lot more better shape what we are seeing today. Okay, we are already late. Okay, don't be late again. Okay, catch up with the new tools and technologies, and give a weapons and the tools to the recruiters. They can work better for you and get yeah, faster hiring numbers. That's what I can talk about to giving any advice for the recruit hiring leaders.
Wonderful set of advice from all of you. Thank you for that, and I'm sure that our audience will appreciate and echo my thanks for that, as well as all the other insights that you've shared today. Personally, the thing that my biggest takeaway of this conversation is just the excitement of the fact that you're each looking at technology as a way or a tool to get back to the people side of the business. And I think, as somebody who works on both sides of the equation, I think that's something that's been lacking over the last couple of years. That it just started to become a numbers game and less so a, a people focused game. So I think that's super exciting, and I want to thank you all for being a part of our conversation today, and for our audience for joining us. Hopefully, you all have learned something that you can take back to your business and apply to your 2025 recruitment strategy. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please subscribe to our Now Hiring podcast and newsletter, and connect with any of us and our wonderful guests via LinkedIn. And we also invite you to join us at Ceipal Connect, our virtual industry event on Thursday, March 6th. So stay tuned for details on that. And from all of us, thank you. And until next time, we are now hiring.